4 bedtime mistakes that secretly destroy leg strength. After 60, what if I told you that your own bed, the one place you turn to for rest and recovery, could be the very place where your leg strength is being secretly drained away, night after night? Many people over 60 lie down to sleep, believing their body is healing, rebuilding, and preparing for the next day. But for millions, that is a dangerous assumption. In fact, what you do in the final hour before turning out the lights may be actively sabotaging your legs while you rest. You might wake up with that familiar stiffness, a deep swelling in your ankles, or a sense of instability that makes those first few steps feel treacherous. You chalk it up to a long day, or worse, you dismiss it as just another unavoidable part of aging. But what if it's not your age? What if it's a series of quiet, seemingly harmless habits that are stealing your strength while you sleep? These habits don't feel dangerous. They don't cause immediate pain. But night after night, they create a slow, insidious erosion of the very muscles and nerves that keep you strong, balanced, and independent. Today, on Wisdom Free, we are pulling back the curtain on the 4 bedtime mistakes that secretly destroy leg strength after 60. And I promise you, the 4th habit is something nearly everyone does, without ever realizing how it directly interferes with the body's most critical repair cycle. But before we dive in, I want you to be honest with yourself for a moment. When your feet first touch the floor in the morning, what is the very first sensation you feel? Is it strength and readiness for the day? Or is it stiffness, heaviness, or even a dull ache? There are no right or wrong answers, but your honest response in the comments below is the first step toward understanding what's truly happening inside your body. Your story matters, and sharing it might just help someone else realize they are not alone in this struggle. Please, take a moment and share now. Now, let's uncover the truth about what's really happening to your legs in the dark. The first habit we must expose is what I call the stillness trap. It's a scene that plays out in millions of homes every evening. After dinner, you finally sink into your favorite armchair to watch television or read a book. And for the next 2, 3, or even 4 hours, you remain almost completely motionless. It feels like a well-deserved rest. Your mind is relaxing, so your body must be too, right? This is a profound misunderstanding of how the body works. This prolonged stillness is one of the most damaging things you can do to your lower body, especially in the evening. While you sit, gravity begins its relentless work. Fluid starts to pool in your lower legs, ankles, and feet. Your circulation, already slowing as the day ends, becomes sluggish and stagnant. Think of your circulatory system as a powerful, flowing river. During the day, your movement acts as the current, keeping everything moving, delivering life-giving oxygen and nutrients while washing away cellular waste. But when you collapse into the stillness trap, that mighty river slows to a crawl. It becomes a swamp. This is where the damage begins. The small, crucial stabilizing muscles in your feet and ankles, the ones that protect you from falls, become waterlogged and stressed. The lymphatic system, your body's microscopic cleanup crew, can't function. It can't clear the inflammatory byproducts from your muscle tissues. So, instead of preparing for a night of deep repair, your legs are entering a state of low-grade, chronic stress. Have you ever stood up after a long evening of sitting and felt that shocking jolt of stiffness? That feeling of your ankles being tight and puffy, or your feet feeling heavy as lead? That is not just fatigue. That is the physical evidence of the stillness trap. You are, in effect, teaching your body how to have poor circulation while you sleep. So what is the antidote? It isn't strenuous exercise. It's the elegant and simple practice of micro-movements. This is about intentionally and gently breaking the stillness. Every 30 minutes, make a point to move. Stand up and walk to the kitchen. During a commercial break, perform 10 gentle ankle rolls. While you're sitting, simply flex your feet up and down or lift your heels off the floor. These small, almost effortless actions are enough to reactivate your body's internal river. They signal to your muscles and circulatory system to keep flowing. A fascinating study I reviewed found that seniors who engaged in just 10 to 15 minutes of light, intermittent movement in the evening maintained significantly better vascular health and reported far less morning stiffness. It's a simple shift that tells your body, we are not shutting down, we are preparing for active recovery. Breaking free from this trap is your first line of defense. But this next habit is even more insidious because it involves something we all must do, yet its timing can turn a nightly necessity into a nightly poison. The second mistake, silently draining your strength, is what I call the midnight meal mistake. This is the habit of eating a heavy or salty meal too close to bedtime. Modern life has pushed our evening meals later and later. It's common to finish dinner at 8 or 9 p.m. and be in bed soon after. To your conscious mind, it feels fine. But to your body, it triggers a crisis of resource allocation. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. When you sleep, your body has a critical repair checklist. At the very top of that list is healing your muscles. Your leg muscles, which have borne your weight all day long, are scheduled for deep tissue recovery. But when you eat a heavy meal just before bed, you throw the entire system into chaos. Your body is forced into an impossible choice. Does it send its precious energy and blood flow to repair your tired leg muscles? Or does it divert everything to the monumental task of digesting the food in your stomach? It cannot do both effectively. And for immediate survival, digestion almost always wins. Blood that should be flooding your legs with oxygen is instead rerouted to your digestive system. Your muscles are left waiting, starved of the resources they need to rebuild. You might be unconscious for 8 hours, but your muscles only receive a fraction of the recovery time they desperately require. The problem is dramatically amplified by salt. A bowl of soup, a handful of salted nuts, or a meal with a rich sauce seems innocent. But high sodium intake before bed is like pouring gasoline on the embers of inflammation. To protect itself, your body retains water to dilute the excess salt. And where does that excess water go? It settles directly into your soft tissues, especially in your lower legs. Have you ever woken up with those deep, painful sock lines etched into your skin, or that tight, swollen feeling in your ankles that makes your first steps feel stiff and clumsy? That is not a sign of a good night's rest. It is a warning siren from your body, signaling that your muscles are not just tired, they are waterlogged and inflamed. The solution is powerfully simple. You must create a 2-hour safety window. Make it an unbreakable rule to finish your last significant meal of the day at least 2 and ideally 3 hours before you lie down. This gives your body the time it needs to complete the heavy work of digestion before it shifts its full focus to muscular and cellular repair and become a detective for hidden sodium. It lurks in canned soups, processed meats, frozen dinners, and even so-called healthy sauces. By choosing fresher, simpler foods in the evening, you allow your body to maintain its natural fluid balance. This single change can be the difference between waking up feeling heavy and stiff, and waking up feeling light, mobile, and ready for the day. And if you think what you eat is the problem, this next mistake is about what you fail to consume. It is the number one cause of those agonizing nighttime interruptions that rob you of both sleep and strength. The third habit that is secretly sabotaging your leg strength is a cruel paradox I call the dehydration deception. This is so insidious because it stems from good intentions. Many seniors very logically avoid drinking water in the evening. They fear it will force them to wake up during the night to use the bathroom, shattering their precious sleep. On the surface, it seems like a smart strategy. But this logic is deeply flawed, and it is directly responsible for one of the most painful nighttime afflictions, severe muscle cramps. Here is a biological fact that is too often ignored. Your muscles are approximately 75% water. Hydration isn't just for quenching thirst. It is the very essence of muscle function, flexibility, and repair. When your muscles become even mildly dehydrated, they lose their pliability. They become tight, brittle, and dangerously prone to seizing up. Imagine a kitchen sponge. When it is moist, it is soft and flexible. You can bend it and squeeze it without issue. But when that same sponge dries out, it becomes hard, stiff, and brittle. If you try to bend it, it can crack and break. Your muscles are exactly the same. Mild dehydration at night is a primary trigger for those shocking, agonizing leg cramps, the Charlie horses that jolt you from a deep sleep. Your calf, foot, or hamstring muscle contracts with brutal force and refuses to release. This is more than a fleeting pain. Each major cramp is a traumatic event for your muscle tissue, causing micro tears and inflammation that lead directly to next-day weakness and soreness. You are trying to avoid a minor inconvenience, a trip to the bathroom, but you are inadvertently inviting agonizing pain and physical damage into your bed. That is the dehydration deception. You think you're protecting your sleep, but you're actually creating a condition that is far more disruptive and destructive. The solution is not to drink a massive bottle of water before bed. It's to practice strategic hydration. The goal is simple. Keep your muscles hydrated without overwhelming your bladder. The key is precise timing and amount. About 45 to 60 minutes before you plan to turn out the lights, have one small glass, about 6 to 8 ounces or 200 milliliters of water. This is just enough to keep your muscle cells supple through the night, but it's typically not enough to trigger a full bladder response until morning. Consistency throughout the day makes this evening glass even more potent. A landmark study found a direct, undeniable link between low evening fluid intake and a higher incidence of nocturnal leg cramps in seniors. By simply ensuring your muscles have the water they need, you can protect them from painful spasms and allow them to fully relax and repair. And now, we arrive at the final, most pervasive habit. It is the most modern, the most widespread, and perhaps the most destructive because it tricks your brain and poisons your body at the same time, turning your sanctuary of rest into a zone of stress. The fourth and final mistake is a technological menace I call the blue light betrayal. This is the habit of using screens, your phone, your tablet, your laptop, or your television, in the final hour before you go to sleep. Most of us have heard that the blue light from these devices can disrupt sleep. But what the warnings often fail to explain is that the damage goes far deeper than just making it harder to fall asleep. For anyone over 60, this habit directly attacks the hormonal cascade responsible for rebuilding muscle. Here's the betrayal in action. The piercing blue light from your screen sends an emergency signal to your brain. It's the middle of the day. Stay awake. Be alert. This signal tricks your brain into shutting down the production of melatonin. And this is the critical piece of information many miss. Melatonin is not just the sleep hormone. It is the master conductor of your body's nightly repair orchestra. When melatonin levels rise, it cues the release of other crucial repair agents like human growth hormone, which is absolutely vital for repairing muscle fibers, strengthening bones, and reducing inflammation. When you stare at a screen before bed, you are telling the master conductor to go home. The repair orchestra never gets the signal to begin. Your body remains stuck in a state of hormonal daylight, even as you lie in the pitch black of your room. Your muscles are being robbed of the essential chemical signals they need to heal. But the betrayal has a second act. Think about your posture while you scroll on your phone in bed. Your neck is bent forward, your back is hunched, and your knees are often bent at an awkward angle. This static, cramped position severely restricts blood flow to your lower legs, sometimes for an hour or more. You are being hit with a devastating 1-2 punch, hormonal sabotage from the blue light and circulatory strangulation from the poor posture. Is it any surprise that so many people wake up feeling groggy, with numb or tingling feet, and a profound sense of weakness in their legs? It is not your age. It is the blue light betrayal. The solution is to reclaim your evening by creating a digital sunset. Just as the sun sets outside, you must create a sunset for your digital world. 1 full hour before your intended bedtime, turn them all off. Not on silent, off. Place your phone on its charger across the room, far away from temptation. This 1-hour screen-free buffer is a sacred time. It allows your brain to finally register the darkness and begin its natural, powerful production of melatonin. It gives the conductor time to step onto the podium and prepare the orchestra for the night's healing symphony. What do you do during this golden hour? You rediscover the lost art of winding down. Read a physical book under a single, warm, dim light. Listen to calming music. Perform a few gentle stretches. Take a warm bath or a foot soak. Have a quiet, meaningful conversation. These activities don't just protect your hormones, they calm your entire nervous system, preparing your body for the deepest, most restorative rest imaginable. We have now exposed the 4 hidden dangers: the stillness trap, the midnight meal mistake, the dehydration deception, and the blue light betrayal. Knowing what to stop doing is half the battle. Now, let's put it all together into a simple, powerful ritual to actively protect and rebuild your leg strength starting tonight. First, break the stillness. Throughout your evening, embrace micro movements. A short walk around the room, a few ankle flexes. Keep the river of your circulation flowing freely. Second, honor the safety window. Finish your last meal at least 2 hours before bed and ensure it is low in salt. Give your body the priceless gift of focusing on repair, not digestion. Third, practice strategic hydration. Enjoy 1 small glass of water about an hour before you sleep. Grant your muscles a cramp-free night of pliable rest. Finally, create your digital sunset. Power down all screens 1 hour before bed. Allow your brain and body to sync with the ancient, healing rhythm of night and day. Strong legs after 60 are not just built on morning walks. They are protected, preserved, and restored in the quiet, sacred hours before you sleep. That is when the real magic of healing happens. It's not about fighting a losing battle against aging. It's about removing the obstacles we unknowingly place in our own path and allowing our magnificent bodies to do what they were designed to do: heal. I truly hope this information has opened your eyes and empowered you with the knowledge to make small, life-altering changes. Your strength, your balance, and your precious independence are worth defending. If you found real value in this video and it gave you a new way to think about your health, please show your support by hitting that like button. It's a small click for you, but it tells the world that this message is important, helping us reach more people who need to hear it. And please subscribe to Wisdom Free and ring that notification bell, because our mission is to provide you with the wisdom to live with strength and clarity for years to come. Share this video with a friend, a parent, or anyone you love. One simple share could be the turning point that changes someone's life. Thank you for being here. Here's to waking up stronger, steadier, and ready to embrace every single day with confidence.